guys, what's up? I'm Chase, and this is the Barely Human podcast. Each week, we discuss the topics on AI that you want to hear about. This week's podcast is also sponsored by Glitch Cat Club School Community, the number one school community to go from Peter Parker to Tony Stark overnight. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and let's get into it.
I don't like people to have any preconceived ideas about me.
Goose for our bar, bitches.
What is that? Is that how you say short bus in England?
No, it's how you say goose for our bar from anger management. I've learned I get my zen from anger management. Whenever you're feeling the rage, the inner fiery demon, when you're back, right. when you're slaying dragons. Yeah. I have to goose for our bar. That's the one.
You got a little Jack Nichols in you.
Yeah, Jack Nicholson. Yeah, love that movie.
Their little cult will be making an appearance here in Vegas in a couple weeks. So
who?
The Vault Conference is coming to Vegas.
What is that?
It's where I met. It's where I met the Dragon Slayer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I met the Dragon Slayer there last
year.
I
can think of nowhere I'd less like to be than in a room with Dragon Slayers.
I can think in a room full of like RuneScape Dragon Slayers, but not like
RuneScape. Holy shit, that brings back some memories. Wow.
Yeah. Traveling guild. Wow.
I was so upset. I had my account banned. I was so upset. I was like 19 years old. RuneScape, like the original one.
Yeah, they're like, you gotta quit saying the F word to little kids on here. Kim, I'm gonna kick you off.
What do you mean? What little kids?
You were like that guy. You were like that guy that got banned on Club Penguin. You ever played Club Penguin back in the
day? No. I did it. No, hold on. So on RuneScape, I basically I leveled up a character for all you RuneScape nerds. I got to like combat level 100, which basically means I'm majorly no-lifed and had like RSI from like clicking. And so I'd worked out like a little bit of a exploit, like a little exploit.
Little hacky hack?
No, not a hack. Exploit. There was a couple of bugs that like you could like kind of dupe gold with a dwarf cannon, and I started using it, and I made loads of gold. And then I bought like full dragon scale armor, and then like literally I was just standing in the main town with my dragon scale armor, and everyone's like, "How did you afford that this early? Like, it doesn't make sense." Like the best players on the server have like one piece that they've like bought, and then the other people who have like one piece got lucky drops. You know, they're like, "But you've got the full thing," like that, like. And I was just like, I bought it, and they're just like, "How?" And I was just like, I bought it, and then next thing you know, I'm banned. And then I just never played again.
Somebody reported you. Yeah.
Multiple reports. Yeah. So then I just never played again. Oh, memories, sweet memories.
You shine too hard, Kim. You were a shining star.
I was just really like, I just really wanted to feel special. I just, you know, I was a geek, and like in my little digital world, my little role-playing game, I wanted to be the guy. You know, I just wanted to be the guy for once. You know, that's all it was.
I was just talking to a friend of mine the other day, and I was telling him, I was like, I used to, I was like notorious for this. Like every single game I ever played, like once I got into like PC at like, you know, like after like I was, you know, in World of Warcraft and like I switched over to PC and everything started becoming PC. I used to notoriously, I don't know what happened to me, but I became like an addict, dude. I would exploit and hack every single game I played. Like I was like, I don't know if you guys know. Do you guys know DayZ? You guys know that game?
Yeah, the one where it's like a survival shooter.
Yeah. So originally, like DayZ was was really just a mod for this game called Arma 2 Operation Arrow.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right, right,
So
right.
like basically there was like because it was literally just a mod layered over a game that was already like full of holes. You know what I mean? Nothing was nothing was like local, so everything was server side. So it was really easy to find all of the scripts associated with the game because everybody had all the files. So like if you had the game, you had access to all the files. Basically, it was just a matter of like, could you pull those into the game? So I figured that out like pretty early on. And one of like the first like lines of code or scripts, anything I ever first did is I learned how to make a script injector for the mod. So I would just like find like um, references inside of like the text files and things like that. And then I learned how to like just basically script in, guns basically. You know what I mean? And I was a menace. I couldn't be stopped. And then that was like my first real taste into like the hacker world, I guess you could say. And then it was just like every single game after that. It got to the point where literally I have a friend of mine who I used to like game with consistently, and he used to get so frustrated with me to the point where he would ask me, he'd be like, if we play this game together, if we buy this game and play this game, if I buy this game with you and I play it, please, like, promise me you will not cheat. I was like, nah, I swear. Dude, I really was. I was like a drug addict. I was like, I promise, swear on my life. You know what I mean? Scouts honor, everything. And then we'd be 2 weeks in and he'd notice some shit and he'd be like, are you fucking cheating in this game? Like, are you finding a way to like hack this game? I was like, he's like,
Dude,
bro, you have a problem. He's like, you literally have a fucking.
dude, I've been banned from World of Warcraft a lot back in the day, like so many times. My guild that I used to run, which was called TLC, shout out the old school TLCers, which was the Logical Cube. We used to be called the Logical Cube. Server first Ragnaros, thank you. So we used to do like DKP and boosts, and they didn't like that. So we used to like farm gold for the guild through like doing boosts through like Blackwing Lair, Nax, like back in the day. And we were like slick. We were basically, imagine like, the fat neckbeard guy in South Park. It's just like blah, blah. That was us, right? We were just like, we would just run these runs. We were so optimized, like as a unit, like we had all the strats, and we used to do
Yeah.
it. And I used to just run around, and yeah, and we just get banned. We just get banned. They'd be like, start a new account, banned, start a new account. We were selling gold. We were doing just like the old days. Oh my god, that was such fun times. I have so many great memories though of that era. Like that was my crew. And I still have friends that I met like in that era of my life that are still my friends to this day. Like the old Discord lot, you know? And like we used to make like mods and like what are they called?
Chris Forge.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they have CurseForge now, but
Yeah.
back in the day, you used to be able to make like, little UI things and like RAID monitors.
Yeah, yeah,
We
yeah.
used to be,
Add-ons. Yeah.
yeah, 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 add-ons. Yeah, yeah. We used to do all these little add-ons. We used to have like trading add-ons and stuff like that. We used to build them all. It was so fun, man. It's
Yeah,
like a
now
real
Blizzard
nice.
got rid of it. And Blizzard's doing their own thing now.
Well, you're not allowed add-ons anymore.
Doing their own thing
Well,
now.
it's literally though like an unplayable game without add-ons.
Yeah, well, that's why they're making. Yeah, they're like trying to make their own so that you don't have to. Because they were saying it
Ah,
was unfair that certain people knew how to do this, but other people didn't have access, and they felt like it was like,
there's truth in that.
yeah,
There's truth in that. That's kind of valid. But then I
yeah,
think I think you just either remove it all, because when we first started doing it, that was what it was like. There was nothing. There was something quite magical about that too. Like it was a different experience, you know. And then when you get the add-ons, it's all like, in 6 seconds till Ragnaros fire breath. 3, 2, 1, pop defensives.
I know exactly
Good.
what he's talking about. Yeah.
You're just like, it's so like, whereas before you're like, oh god, he might do that thing now. You're like, oh no, we've lost the guy. Like, he'll res him. You know, like it was so much more like dynamic and visceral.
I
So
wonder what
fun.
like what are games like now, like with AI? I wonder if like you do kids like play with like an AI guide and stuff now? Like, is that a thing? Like,
Oh,
what
I
are people
don't know. I
doing?
don't know if AI. I think AI is being used in game dev. There's a guy in the community who's using like Unreal Engine. He's trying to do some. He's actually trying to do something
Is that
so
Larry?
cool.
Talking about Larry?
Uh, I think it might be his name.
He's
He's
a
like,
level. He was a level designer for like a
yeah,
major
yeah,
studio.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. He's amazing. But he did this. He's working on this like game that's like Prey, which is like a horror game,
Yeah.
and it's like AI like creates like the story in real time. It's this weird like not story, but like it decides and it kind of evolves with it at the same time. I just thought it was
Yeah.
a super cool idea. I was like, it's such a cool idea, like an indie horror game.
Well, procedural generation, I think was a. I think the one thing about AI taking over, like coming in and becoming more advanced, in a lot of ways, will help certain ideas that have kind of been stuck in a box on the shelf, for a lot of people, kind of start to take shape because procedural generation techniques like have always been like a thought process and an idea for a lot of games. Like, I don't know if you guys know. You guys know about this game called Star Citizen? You guys know about that game?
Yeah, of
No.
course.
It's
Big
like
game,
this
big
huge
game.
project, man. It's like this
Yeah.
huge project this guy took on. Like, I don't even know, man. It's been like 10 or 12 years going back, but I was one of like the first people to ever like invest behind the game. I actually have like an in-game, like my name is somewhere inside the game, supposedly. I don't know, or going to be, or supposed to be, or whatever. But I invested like a 5 grand when I was like young into this game. I thought I was gonna like it was gonna like mean something to me like later on. I don't know, dude. I spent some money on some of these stupid fucking things when I was.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
watches.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, the whole
he just
procedural
he just
Low
clears that
blow.
and just moves on to the next thing. He's just like
the
no.
Low
whole
blow.
the whole procedural thing is valid because like I was a big fan of action RPGs, and
Yeah, sure.
that was the thing for me. Like I
Like
remember the
Fable.
day, like Diablo 2,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
yeah, and then later Path of Exile, and like, and I was just really interested, like, because what the replayability came from the maps always being procedurally generated,
Right.
you know, like you could replay the same thing over and over again. It was on a game loop, right? And then obviously the extension of that now. I think there's a lot AI can be quite interesting, but that was always kind of possible, right? That was just generative coding, you know, systems with lots of variables. It's almost like the whole generative art movement in a lot of ways, where you just design systems. You know, I was thinking about that actually the other day about the value of AI in that. So, like coded art, if I think about really like impressive code as artists like Tyler Hobbs. Have you ever seen the work of Tyler Hobbs? Like Fidenza? No, I'll show you. Hold on. Tyler Hobbs. Obviously, there's Tyler Hobbs is like a modern artist, right? But like here we go. Let's share. So Tyler Hobbs is like a modern artist, but there's obviously the great work of like Vera Molnar and people like that. I'm about to bring some culture to the pod, friends. These you can't be dealing with these philistines all the time. Sometimes we have to elevate. But like this is like let's say Tyler Hobbs. Here we go. So this is all code art, right? side.
What's that mean? He's writing lines of code.
They're algorithms. Yeah, they're algorithms that produce art, like often on chain. So like this is all generated by code.
Wow.
Um, yeah, and so like he does some pretty beautiful stuff, but the older stuff actually prefer his older stuff. So like many years ago. So I was saying like I wonder, oh gosh, this is really not the stuff I'm talking about. There's one project I love called Flight. Um, but oh, maybe some of this stuff. And then he does a bit of hand. Yeah. So this is like concentric circles and stuff, but all this like stuff. Anyway, him. And then of course the very famous Vera Molnar, who's an absolute legend in kind of programmatic art. This is like going back to like 1947. She was like this programmer who used to program art in Hungary from like these computers in labs that like took up a whole room. And yeah, this is all like the work of Vera Molnar. Like, these
She's an
amazing,
OG.
yeah, like incredible. And of course, David Nice. Is David Nice code art? Gosh, David. No, that's not that. That's not that at all. I've got the name wrong. But anyway, um, yeah. And so I often think about like, so these guys became really dominant when blockchain kicked off. So like when blockchain kicked off, and then the Ethereum network opened up NFTs, and then there was a platform called a really incredible platform called Art Blocks. Art Blocks. Um, and on Art Blocks, these uh, generative projects were popping up. This is like the non-cheesy side of NFTs. This is like genuinely incredible work. And they would load up these algorithms that would get hashes off the blockchain. So you didn't know what your piece of art would look like, but you were paying for the algorithm. This is the guy that started it, Snowfro, Eric Calderon. And there are incredible people that have done projects on this, like the guys that created p5.js, the language, and it's just there's a lot of amazing work here. And Tyler Hobbs obviously was one of their biggest kind of people. But yeah, it's just it just opened up a world for generative art, and yeah, and I just think like I wonder how many people are now vibing generative art. You know,
It's a good question. I don't even know.
yeah, I bet it's completely messed up that like niche of art.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, depends on how good they are.
I don't know, man. Like it used to be a big deal just to do any kind of code art. You had to be quite skilled, Yeah, you could use your p5.js or like a language like processing or something like that. But
Yeah.
like it was like, it was just cool. So AI has changed the whole like landscape for that stuff. Anyway, cool convo.
What's really interesting about this is because there is that whole movement against generative art, right? Whether
Of
it's
course.
movies, picture art, music, anything in the arts, really. And one could make the argument, right, that nowadays the generative artists, the code artists, are the new, I don't want to say real artists, but like the modern artists of today versus, a lot of the people that are using older forms of
Well,
art.
well, during the days of like, let's think about the art world. Like it was a big hit when people didn't have to hire artists anymore because like Mid Journey came out, you know, and then later Dali, and then people were getting these native models as well, like local models that were doing like some pretty awesome stuff. And
Yeah.
obviously, real artists, especially digital artists, you know, it was such a kick, like years of like desperately trying to make money with digital art. And then someone can now just like prompt some pretty reasonable looking stuff. It's
But
pretty brutal.
do you think that's really though like a fair assessment? Because we all know the importance of being an SME in whatever whatever you're using AI to do. So one could make the argument, right, that all of these artists should have started
No,
using Midjourney and
no,
they should have
no,
been
no.
ahead. No?
A hundred, a
Because
hundred,
I don't know what good art
hundred
looks like.
percent, a
Put me in
hundred.
front of it and it's
Yeah,
like a
no,
child with finger
a
paints. I mean, it's,
a hundred
you know,
percent.
my
No,
mom will be proud, but that's about
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. No, 100% no. Artists that
Midjourney's a little
use
better. Six
no,
fingers.
no. What I mean is like 100% no, in the sense that this is specifically digital artists, right? So these are illustrators. These are we're not talking about a physical medium artist, right? Who's doing oil painting or whatever, right? We're talking about people that make careers in in the
Concept art.
art. Yeah,
Mhm.
concept, exactly. Concept art, filling, stuff for CGI, loads of stuff. And the studios didn't need to pay artists anymore. And it happened like overnight. And it's only got worse, right? So so many artists that just got slammed. If the funny thing is, you can attribute there was a period in I get that crypto is crypto, guys, right? I get it. But there was a legitimate art movement where these digital artists started making money from creating art on chain, genuinely. And it was driven by all these crypto bros who was sent, buying whatever. But there was a genuine movement for that. And it was really great. And it was nice to see these guys finally getting paid for something they love in the arts. And overnight, AI just went boom. And then all these crypto bros were releasing projects on chain, and the real artists were just getting like ignored. And then all the grifters came in selling it just completely ruined like what was quite a nice little moment in crypto that was like legitimately quite a nice thing. I'm not talking about apes and things, right? I'm talking about legitimate artistic projects.
Listen, man, I had some really cool. I had some like little guys, like these little blob things that were stuck inside of a glass container. I don't remember what they were called, but I had like five of those. I had like these little plush looking doll things on. I don't know. I had a bunch of fucking. I got sold for sure on the
My
NFT.
my collection beats yours. I had 6 CryptoPunks.
Oh, that's a big deal.
Yeah, it is. Except I sold them
You
before they're. I got
at
them
their
for
peak.
free. Well, I got them for free, right? So when the launch happened, right? Yeah, because that's how they were distributed. They were distributed for free. And so when they started to be valued, I think I sold most of them for like the equivalent of like $2,000. How was I supposed to know that some of them would be worth literally millions, like 6, 7 months later, whatever it was? Like I just thought, like I'm not waiting for people to realize this is ridiculous, and I was like $2,000. Now they're like art icons. For those that don't know what a CryptoPunk looks like, these were the first kind of experiment for let me
Was that
just get
and the smoking? What was it called? The Smoking Yacht Club or the Ape
Ape,
board
yeah.
ape.
Board Ape
Bored
Board
ape.
Yacht Club?
Yeah, there was a whole like hold on, let's look at this.
The
Crypto.
Board Ape Yacht Club, dude.
Yeah, this is
What fucking world were we living in at this time?
oh, they're still worth quite a lot of money. That's actually surprising. So
31 Ethereum. Yeah.
these were
Well,
CryptoPunks.
money still needs laundering, so not gonna
These
launder it.
icons, right? Yeah. So no, but it wasn't. I get that blockchain can be used for that, but this was different. This was proof. This was a proof of concept of art on chain. In a
This is the proof of concept. This he's pulling up
$2 million.
a guy with a blue hat.
it was if that was the whole point. They weren't meant to be great art. They were just proving that you could generatively create art in a smart contract. And it was that was the whole point, right? With Ethereum. And then off this spawned NFTs. Now Bored Ape Yacht Club, this thing. On the other hand, which Jimmy Fallon and people went like and bought these things. This is where it all went kind of a little bit
Dude,
stupid.
looking at these images is giving me PTSD. This is like
These,
taking me back.
I think CryptoPunks are still awesome. I think they're really such a cool thing. But they were the first, you know. It was like it's just the idea of a generative project, a profile picture generative project, and then it got corrupted by the likes of like
Yeah,
was
one
it
of
Gary Vaynerchuk or whatever his name
you
is, Gary V. And like
want to talk about stupid things to collect. Man, I'd prefer watches.
yeah, exactly.
But
Yeah. Spider-Man comics.
Get the fuck Get the fuck out of here.
what? I said
Yeah.
I'd prefer the watches over.
Okay,
It's
okay.
a crypto punk would have been a better investment. Yeah.
Probably, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't think. Yeah, I think my watch has gone up like 2%. I don't know, maybe 2%, 1%.
Watches are great. We love watches.
Yeah,
I'm
we love
kidding.
them.
I'm
But if
kidding.
you guys want to pivot into an AI story, we have a good investment here recently.
What?
What's that?
Java?
No, Stripe's acquisition of OpenRouter.
Did they
Oh, that
really
was
buy?
that was a few weeks back, right? Yeah, that was a crazy good one. I just think it's like they're so smart, aren't they? Because they own the whole payment processing leg, and routing is like probably the biggest significant investment that I think enterprise is making. Like over the last, if you look at the trend over the last, say, month and a half, 2 months, and then you think about kind of what that means. I think it's just an incredible. I mean, just on the forex conversion on the routing, like they're going to make a fortune. It's such a, and it gives them access, instant access. Open Router is probably the most adopted routing solution at enterprise in the world. It's everywhere. It's basically anyone that's doing serious enterprise AI is using Open Router. And overnight, Stripes just got in the door. It's pretty remarkable. I think it's probably one of the single best investments in the whole of the AI space. Yeah.
I feel like too, it's a good product. You know what I mean? That's the other thing too, is like I think a lot of people don't like because also too, you also have like companies like Higgsfield, right? That are sort of like a routing like medium, you could call it, in its own sense. Like I think they just actually got evaluated at almost like 4 billion potentially. And it's one of the fastest growing companies. I was just reading the story on the guy who founded the company, and it's like one of the fastest growing companies within like a 2 year time period. It's like broken a bunch of records, but like I think what a lot of people don't, because I see this a lot of times, right? Like I see people talking about Open Router, I see people talking about Higgsfield, Open Art, whatever it is, right? And they're like, oh well, it's just an API, it's just an API. Just an API router, right? They're just taking the API. I could build my own Higgsfield. I could build my own.
Well, it's a little bit more than that.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, no, you could take, you could go into Google Studio and you could grab your Google Studio API key, and yeah, you could route Nano Banana into whatever it is, and you could create an interface if you wanted. But that's not just what these platforms are, right? Like there's more to them.
Yeah, dude, like
Yeah,
open router in enterprise is being used in wild ways. Like they're
yeah,
developing like classification models so that like they're automating certain tasks being auto routed to certain, like the best model for the job at the lowest cost per task. They're optimizing that, which in a
Yeah.
world where Uber is using up its entire token budget in like a
yeah.
couple of months or whatever, there's a big value to be had. Like you want your enterprise to use AI, but you want them to get the biggest bang for buck. Like,
I
and
just put a direct to API. I just get my API key.
yeah, but that's that. Yeah, but the people that say that, yeah, but the people that are saying that
Fucking
are like layman's trying to like like code a database from scratch for their like website. Like these are idiots. Like, and I mean that respectfully. If you're coding a database for your website, I don't mean that respectfully. Like you should just stop.
Actually, fuck
Yeah,
you.
yeah. No, you should.
So
Yeah, you should.
actually get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. You should seek help. Yeah, yeah, you need to lock up people like that. I think it's like, what's it called? Like evolution. Like there should be
Natural
like,
selection.
yeah. They should like the system should like insta hack them.
Ken,
Like
you're going to be really pissing off the token maxing bros right now.
Yeah, but this is the thing, right? What token maxing is about getting. Yeah, I guess it is about using as much compute.
Dude, when
as
I hear
possible,
those words, I think about Dave Chappelle with the like the crack. What would he do with Tyrone Biggums, where he like sit there and he like scratch his neck? Like I feel like running out of tokens. Like they don't know what to do when then they don't have their tokens.
But to be honest, I get a little bit of that. I do.
Oh, I got 12 hours left and 32%. I gotta.
I at one point I used to message Chase, like I'd be like delivering slices of like work, and I'd be like, Chase, it's good. We're currently operating at about 2% of my sub per slice, and I've got 6 slices left, and my reset date is at this time. And then it's crazy. It is crazy.
It was madness.
It is
Talk
crazy.
about AI psychosis. It's like token maxing psychosis.
It is wild. Like, and
they're gonna cut that extra 50% in a week. What am I gonna do? Oh shit!
They never do. They never do.
They were meant to do it on the 19th.
It's the same thing. It's like with the Fable. Yeah, we're removing Fable from the plans, and everybody's like, gotta get the most out of it right now.
July 4th. Next year.
Yeah. Yeah, now it's all part of the plans. I think people are saying that there's a new version of Sonic. Dude, what happened to fucking Haiku? Did they just did Anthropic just throw Haiku out of the window? Like, what are they just? They're just moving on, I guess.
Did you see my video the other day I posted on YouTube that was showing Haiku versus Fable on a knowledge graph? I was trying to show people how to do knowledge graph properly. And the point I was making is that knowledge graph doesn't use the model, right? So the way I demonstrated that was basically showing them knowledge graph with Haiku performing incredibly well, recalling the context in like 2 milliseconds, right? Versus a 20-second full read call using grep. And I was demonstrating that. But to demonstrate that, what I did is I showed with knowledge graph and without knowledge graph, right?
Yeah.
So without knowledge graph, I did a Fable call. So the use case, let me tell you the use case, because it's an interesting one, and some people might find it interesting, is that the use case was, you've got this refund policy, right? And this refund policy says above $500, you need to get approval, okay? And that's captured somewhere as a document. That's your refund policy. Then the person that you need to contact, the approver, is in another document, right? But that also in another third document, there's an out of office calendar, and that person is also out of office. And then in another document, it's who takes over from them, their replacement, right? And the point I'm trying to make is that that's a lot of reading for grep, and knowledge graph can just work this all out very quickly with multi-hop traversal. That was the whole use case. Yeah. So I tested it with Fable, and Fable got it right, of course, right? And it was a small project, small corpus. So Fable just does all the reading. It takes about 20 seconds. It reads through everything. And it gets it right because it reads through all the documents. And then I showed it with Haiku. And Haiku just went full, like it was, you've never seen something so absolutely limited in its like it was so it wasn't like failed a little bit. It was like it just completely went 100% full on dumb
Yeah.
tard.
Yeah, you never
Like
go full retard. You can't come
yeah,
back. No
yeah.
going back.
Just
Insert
full
clip,
Well,
yeah.
full.
and Kim, I remember it came back and it was like, well, you should be the one that's
Yeah.
approving this because you're the owner of the company.
Yeah, it
And
said
it
to me,
was
that's
just
right. It came back and I said it was in this isolated environment that didn't even have much context about me, but it had this session start hook that said hi Kem, right? Like and it because of that it went, well, I guess Kem should be the approver. And I was like, what are you talking about? Anyway, that was the point. Haiku was absolutely useless. Like outside of some very like hyper simple tasks that you could do on like a local model. Like I just don't get it. It was just it's just it's like these Google like flashy kind of models. I just think like no one wants these.
so
No
we
one
think our vote then is that it's going to be discontinued. You think they're going to kill it?
Haiku.
Yeah.
they're gonna need to
Haiku
do
headed towards
something
the
with it.
grave. Is that what
I
we're
don't think so. I think that it still has uses, you know, and I think that's the bottom line. It still has uses. Like I'm being a bit dramatic, right? But it's just a bit of a poor model. Like it's just not big enough. It's just not big enough. That's the bottom line. It's what it always comes down to. It's not even that the model is a bad model. It's just too small.
You know, like what's funny is like some things that I've realized is like people who use Claude, for instance, like people who just use like Claude desktop app, load it up, use it for whatever, right? They don't even exit the chat feature. They just use everything that's in the chat feature, co-work, whatever it is now. I don't know. But they're like, I noticed that people don't even like they don't even know like the model routing, just like they're just over there just opus maxing everything, you know what I mean, opus on extra high effort, just over there asking that, you know, asking opus what they should make for their fish soup recipe, you know what I mean? It's like, dude,
Yeah, it's probably true.
the amount of fucking RAM that these people are pulling to try to get a fucking, you know, chocolate cake recipe from Opus is
I do you know
ridiculous.
I had a real case of
it's
that recently.
some Lord
I
Sidious
this is true.
unlimited power.
Yeah. No. I spoke to someone that literally. I spoke to this boomer the other day, and we were in a coffee shop getting coffee. It was really early. It was like 6:30 a.m., 7 a.m., and we were getting coffee at this coffee shop. And we got talking like in the queue, waiting for the coffee. And he's like, "Oh, what do you do?" And I was like, "Oh, AI." He's like, "Oh, I love AI." And I was like, "Oh, really? Like that's so cool." And he's like, "Yeah, I use OpenAI, you know, OpenAI is one of the-" Oh, I was like, I was like, they're really good. They're really good, you know. And he's like, "Yeah," he goes, that they released the new models, you know, Soul. And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, it's great. Like it's really good." And he was like, "Yeah." He goes, "You can just tell when you talk to it, like the way it answers you, like it's better, it speaks better." And I was like, "Right. Like what do you
Does, yeah.
mean?" And he's like, "Yeah, like the pros, like I use it, it's like my Google now. I use it like I used to use Google." And I was like,
No.
"Oh, is that?" I was like, "Oh, I'm curious. Like, what do you do with it? Like, do you use it in your business? Do you?" And it's like, no. I just use it like on my phone. Like, I just like it's like my Google now, and it can help me write emails, and it's got better language now. Like, it writes them better." And I was like, "Wow, like using Soul to write your emails. That's interesting." But like, I mean, that's the majority of people, though, right?
Yeah.
That's not, you know, I mean, he didn't get it for Soul, right? He's just an open AI user that's now got access to Soul, right? He's going to use the best model.
It's true.
But like, you know, it's not a dig at someone like that. It's like he's not going to start coding or like, you know, like, but it was just interesting. I was just like, that's just the way some people see it. Like, you know, he's probably on like the highest plan as well.
I would love to know the cost per email on the actual cost, like not like the plan. I would love to know like the actual token cost that it's costing this man.
No,
to
but he's
run.
probably no, but he's probably like he's
Yeah.
probably got the money. Like he's bought the biggest plan, and he's probably using 1% of his
No, I mean,
plan
I
money.
want to know what it's costing OpenAI every time this guy is writing an email with Sol 5.6 extra high.
Pennies. They don't care. They don't care.
That's true.
They don't care. They don't care. Pennies. Like I just think like it's like it's just funny. Like always makes me think back to that. Like how many users? I think they hit 1 billion users a while back. Like ChatGPT,
They were the
like
first.
including like free users, right, and stuff. But like, I mean, that's insane. Like, it's insane. It's an insane number. That's most of the world, pretty much, right?
It's 1/8. Yeah, it's 1/8.
Yeah, is it that what it is? 1/8. I've lost track of the population. China, yeah, you never know. You never know how quickly they're accelerating in babies. So like,
we don't know. Yeah, we really don't know.
we don't know. We don't know. Like we just know that they unbanned like one baby, right?
Yeah.
They were like one baby banned for a while. People were like throwing
yeah.
female babies off of like cliffs and stuff because they like wanted to have sons so their bloodline didn't die. I don't know if that's true.
When people like watch this podcast, it's just gonna sorry. It's just gonna go down in the middle of the
line. To all my Cantonese friends, I deeply apologize. I'm just being silly.
This podcast is sponsored by Huawei.
Yeah. I actually have you ever been to China?
You never been to China?
Have you ever been? I have.
I'm going next year.
I've been to Beijing and I've been to Shanghai, and like I had a blast, man. It's a super cool place.
I've heard really good things about.
It's really good.
Who go there and like they're like you can. I know compared to like United States, like your dollar stretches a lot farther in China than it does here in the US. So
everything stretches further than the US.
That's probably true.
The US is like outrageously expensive compared to the rest of the world, right?
I feel like not in London though. I feel like
London is also outrageously expensive, but I'm saying, we're talking about these big developed markets, right? We're talking about the rest of the world. Like most of the world isn't that,
It's true. Yeah, I wouldn't guess that. I would guess that from like, most other countries, but I wouldn't guess that from like Beijing.
Asia's an interesting place. Like I remember I visited Thailand a while back, which is probably one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. And I remember I would get like dinner for the equivalent of like 50 cents. And it would be this like full on gorgeous like street food, right? Like from a street vendor. But like the quality is like you hear street vendor and you think like, like in America, I don't know what it's like in America, but like in the UK, street vendors like hot dogs, it's kind of fast food, not great. Unless I guess in the States, unless you can get the things like Mexican food and stuff, right? From trucks and stuff. True. Now there's the whole food truck thing.
I think
the quality's gone up
instead of
like so food trucks have changed that whole thing, right? They've made it much more like
they're still expensive though. Like the food trucks in Vegas are
right
pricey, like $10, $12.
But the quality is there now, right?
And especially lately with all the oil stuff, dude. Price has been ridiculous here.
Oh yeah, the whole Strait of Hummus. No, but like in Thailand, it was like 50 cents, and I'd get this like Thai green curry, and it'd be like the best Thai green curry I've ever eaten. And they used to give it to me in like a plastic bag, like a Thai green curry, and like it's not plastic bag, but it's like plastic bag, and it's like you just hold it and then you just it was so good. It's like 50 cents. Just so cheap, like unbelievably cheap. Also, you could get a Thai massage for $3.
Yeah,
full body, like 1 hour.
Yeah, what? Full body. Yeah.
Full body
for sure.
Full body.
yeah.
Not $5, $3.
Yeah, $3. $3.
Speaking of China,
toes and all. Yeah.
Speaking of China. Who's got this what's your all's best guess? What is OX Alpha? Who? What is this?
Oh,
What's
dude,
your all's
that
best guess?
dude, you know what? That I mentioned that today. Like, what's going on there?
You think it's
Like,
China?
I don't know. But
I
like,
feel
what is it? When do we find out? Right? Because it's a multi-trillion model, right?
yeah.
Like I was saying to the guys, like I haven't used it, but I've had friends that have called me up and said, like, dude, this is like better than Fable. Like I've had people saying to me, this is like they're like, this is a mega model.
It's
Like,
beaten on multiple benchmarks. Yeah.
and they're saying like this came out of
Wow.
nowhere. No one knows what's going on. No one knows who's released it.
Everybody's making a bunch of guesses. There's a bunch of guesses. Like Twitter's going crazy. Like, everybody's like guessing that it's secretly a Z AI model. Like it's kind of like and a lot of people like their guess is like it's like a hidden distillation attack from China, right? Like that's a lot of people's best guess. Like this is a data grab basically, and that's why it's free, and that they're just not releasing that information because they're trying to see how many people they can pull on the model. But I don't know. I don't know.
I
Come to
don't know
market.
enough. I don't know enough about it, but some people are also rumoring that it's like a trial or something of like OpenAI's model 6. But like that's just stupid. I
Doesn't make
don't
any sense though. I
no,
don't
they would
see.
never
I don't
do
think the
that.
United States they wouldn't risk their contract with the United States
They
government.
would never, of course it's not that. But like this is
Yeah.
what the rumor mill is saying, right? But like, yeah,
Well,
it's got, but either way, dude, you got this model that like, it was Christian that called me up, Chase, and he's like,
Hmm.
dude, like I've been playing with this model on router, and he's like, have you seen it? And I'm just like, no. He's like, yeah, OX or whatever. I was like, what's that? And he's like, dude, I cannot tell you. Like this thing is insane. He's like, it's insane. And like Christian's like the man. Like he's like
yeah.
like really, he's right up there, dude. He's right up there. Like
Pliny.
DEFCON number one kind of guy.
Oh
Like
shit.
right up there.
Pliny says that his agent says that this is definitely ZAI.
I
A lot of
mean,
people are saying it's like ZAI 5.5.5 or 5.4 because but it doesn't really make much sense because they just released ZAI just released 5.3 like a week ago. So I don't see why they would put this out like a week later and be like,
yeah, but it could be a different model though.
Good point.
Like you
so
do,
not even GLM. You're thinking it could be just something like a
yeah, like it could be like like Opus Fable.
right. Yeah.
Like I don't know, man. I really want to find out. I can't wait to play with it. They can take my data. I got nothing to hide.
Dude, well,
Get watermarked, bitches. Yeah,
this is a big wake up call too to the frontier models because really at the end of the day, like the market does not care about the loyalty to OpenAI, to Anthropic. At the end of the day, if somebody comes out with a model that's cheaper, that's more capable, most people don't really care, especially if it's this much of a difference.
Yeah, the
And
customers don't give a shit. Yeah.
and shit, I mean, the Chinese government could just subsidize costs even. They get all the data. I mean, that's not honestly that bad of a play. They get all the data, they subsidize the costs as long as it's a 5 or a 10-year play.
Yeah. And in China, they could just build like we need more compute. We're building 1,000 data centers.
You get a second baby. We need
no, they don't even have they don't even have to do that.
Ping, friend of the show.
Yeah. They could just be like, we're making 1,000 new data centers and you guys are paying for it. And everyone just says, "Oh, amazing! Yay, supreme leader!" yeah, like I'm joking. It's a joke.
And they make their move on Taiwan.
Give us a Huawei sponsorship. Yeah, we'll take your money. Yeah.
No, like dude, China is
China. I'm gonna wear like the Chinese jerseys on screen. Like, dude, dude.
We're gonna be like the John Kirikou.
Come on, man. Yeah.
No, the China. All jokes aside, China is killing it, dude. And open weight models the whole way. Respect to them, man. Like they have always been so bright. They're so like bright as a nation. They're so competent. they're great
true.
mathematicians, they're great researchers, they're hard workers. They're just a very, they've got the recipe for just like be just taking over anything they put their minds to, you know. I can't think over my career of people that I wanted to work with more than people that were often from that part of the world. They were just so fantastic.
It's gonna
They
be
really
several
were.
people watching this. Gonna be like, these guys are definitely collecting a check from the Chinese government for sure.
Well, they can say what
Listen,
they want.
if the,
The truth might hurt.
I'll take your money.
Yeah.
Listen,
The
write
Nothing
truth,
the
the,
yet.
check.
the
Nothing
tr-
yet.
Yeah,
no, but it's true, dude. You got to remember, like I started my career in quants, and quants was full of these really bright, people coming over from China. They come over in their masters or their PhD here sometimes. Sometimes they just come straight over, get great jobs, and they were always just immediately far ahead of everyone. Like you just couldn't touch them. They would just, I don't know what it was. Like they're just amazing, amazing bright minds, and just
their gaming industry is like starting to really like kill
yes,
the
they're
United
killing
States
it in
game. Yeah,
gaming too.
they
Yeah.
are now.
Oh, let's be honest. United States gaming has been corrupted by the social political environment, right? It's a bit like the
Yeah,
movie industry. It's subject to like leaning in a certain way politically, like in everything that goes with that. Ideological.
yeah.
As opposed to just being about the game, it's become like ideological. So whenever you do that, you're going to immediately uh, you know find yourself isolated from the market, which is really, it's an industry that shouldn't care about that stuff, because it should be for everybody, and so I think it's just poor business. It's just a bad business move.
There's just so much garbage. There's so much garbage now just being produced. Like, I mean, what is? I mean, dude, like, I don't even. I just don't even know anymore. Like you have all these microtransaction game. Like, there's
Well, that's
nothing.
China's gaming though. They're like the masters. All those
Well,
gacha games are like
that's
pure
true,
China.
but like every game now, it seems like that's released. It's kind of like there's no more writing anymore. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing that I hate is like there's no more authenticity in the writing.
Mm.
So the one thing that I do, and I've said this a couple of times, like I feel like the one good thing about AI giving people power to be able to create things who would have never maybe been able to have the access, but have amazing ideas. Like there's a lot of people I know who have wonderful ideas, but they don't have maybe the technical ability or the money to be able to produce something to put this out there into the world of what they wanted to do. AI is going to give people that ability. And I think that
Do
that
you
is something that people miss.
do you know a lot? You said you know a lot of people that have great ideas. I know no one that has a good idea. I literally
Not
sit. I
like business
literally.
ideas, but yeah, I know people.
I literally look. No, like no good ideas. Like no creative good ideas. Like no business good ideas. Like I talk to my friends, and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Hey, so like, tell me." Like, and they're just like, "Nah, we should make a task manager." And I'm like, "Oh my god." Like, hey, I had this great idea, and then they'll start describing something that's like really well known and big.
No,
I got this idea for a social media platform, dude. We can call it Bookface, and you're just like, oh my god,
yeah.
allow you to connect with your friends online. You're just like, oh
It's
my
yeah,
god,
it's yeah, giving AI to
a
some people is
marketplace,
what Tim
a
Dillon say.
marketplace where you can sell things.
Tim Dillon said
Right.
like giving AI to some people is like giving an ape the Constitution. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, I do I personally feel like I do know a lot of people who have like really powerful creative ideas in a
Wow.
lot of sense
I
sometimes. And
I need some of that because I'm in the bucket of like it's been done before. Like I'm in that bucket. Like I'll think, do you know what's interesting though? I went and met on Friday with these really impressive guys who were trying to solve knowledge graph memory architecture for legal firms. and they came to me to talk to me about knowledge graph, and they were telling me the solution. And as they were talking through the problem, they were like, oh, we've got that sorted and we got that sorted, but then we had this problem and we solved it this way and so on.
Yeah.
They then started to describe like a small part of the process. And they're like, so we had this problem and we worked out that we could like embed in this way. And so the digest would be really fast and really cheap. And then he just kept talking and I went, stop. I went like, you do realize that is the product. Like that little component in this big thing you're trying to deliver, that alone is a product. Like I was like, you do realize that? And he was like, oh, I've never thought about it that way. And I was like, why are you trying to solve everything when you've got a magic wand right now, ready to go? It was like this. It's like when these people, some of these guys don't even realize what they've got in their hands. It's that idea of like feature blow. Like you're trying to do this big mega thing, but to get there, you've got to solve many other unique problems, right? That's the best ideas that haven't been done. Like memory architecture is a great one. I think knowledge graph is like a really good example of this, right? Because like it's just not solved, right? I did this big rant on Instagram, chem_glitch. And in this rant, I was explaining that like I reviewed like like all the obvious players like Neo4j, all the LangChain crowd, and then all of the like Microsoft RAG and stuff like that. And I was explaining how they all make compromises. They all put models in the way because nobody can solve autonomous kind of entity-driven ontological modeling and stuff in memory architecture. And I was saying how like if someone can solve that, that's a big problem. And like there are many issues along the way, and any one of those issues is a product because there's so many of them. And this group of guys that I met on Friday just like had solved many of them. And I was like, why are you still pushing for the like you've already got your business, you've already got your $1 billion business. Like go out and sell it, like
Right.
so it's a fascinating conversation.
Do you think that it's people have this like monolithic idea more often than not? So they see like one large idea and believe that they need one large solution end to end without realizing, wait a second, we can actually just break this up into a couple components. And if we solve these components, we can outsource these ones. Or
well, I think a lot
what
of
do you
people
guys
miss
think?
on the fact of like what, and I always say this in business because like, like while I was like after I exited my first partnership, I didn't really know like what I was gonna do. So I was like helping and doing like minor consulting for other, like entrepreneurs that wanted to start up, companies and whatnot. And the biggest thing that I see commonly just back to back to back is like even people who are running businesses or are trying to do like a new project or trying to launch a new project or whatever they're trying to do, a lot of people miss out on the like what can I do now piece. Like a lot of people miss out on like the simplistic like, okay, yeah, I have this grand idea and here's like A to Z, but like what can I do now? Because like in the way that I try to describe it to people is like, okay, for instance, like if I'm building a TV show, okay, and I want to take it to HBO, okay, like HBO is not going to give me the budget to run all 8 seasons on day one, right? Even if they like the idea, they're going to give me the enough budget to go, okay, well, let's run the pilot. We're going to run some tests and we're going to see how some test audiences respond to this. And I was like, that's really all you have to do is you just have to respond to this in ways that like you think that an investor would try to look at this. And I think a lot of people miss out on that pilot idea. Like, what's your pilot idea? Right? Like, what's the idea that you can run right now with the available assets that you have right now? Without like, there was somebody in a call. This was like in the community. There was somebody in a call like one day we were sitting in mastermind and some guy was like, he was like looking for. He's like, I think I'm looking for capital investment or something like that. And I was like, dude, what, what are you like? What are you doing? Right. Like, and he was like, cause I'm like, if you don't need anything over $100,000, you don't need capital. Like, and I hate to tell people this, but you don't need capital investment. Like you just need to put your foot to the fire and actually get to some level of work. And I think that a lot of people miss out on that initial aspect. They think that they have to have all these things. Oh, I have to have this and I have to have that. And they think about the grand scheme, right?
We
I'm like,
spoke
yeah,
about that. We spoke about this a few weeks back. Do you remember we were saying how? Sorry, guys. Sorry, that's my yeah. Sorry.
Time for
we were
Kim's
saying
close up.
we were saying yeah.
Sorry.
We were saying that this it's an excuse.
yeah,
It's if I had this, I would be successful. Like,
true.
like,
Yeah.
like, let me just hold on. I need
What
to.
was the conversation topic around?
Oh, if
Yeah.
you were a billionaire, how you'd spend your money?
Oh, yeah.
No, it wasn't.
Speaking of which, I would just
that
hire
it?
a bunch of grok bots.
Was
But
yeah, I would have 100 Claude subscriptions, 100 Claude Max subscriptions. Yeah,
it's this, right? Where is it? Here,
that's the new World of Warcraft player.
$20,000 a month on Claude
It's this.
subscriptions.
It's this. It's
I
this.
token
It's this.
max so hard.
It's this image,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Like,
Oh
you know
yeah,
what I
there
mean?
he is.
You know,
There's the
like,
man.
this is
Why does
this
he have
is
a
what I'm saying.
window? Why does he have a window? That's luxury right there.
That to be honest with you, that does just look like a brick wall, like behind you. Right?
I think it was just. I think it used to be a window or something like that. They just like, yeah. Now it's just the next building over. Yeah,
yeah, it's wallpaper. Yeah, it's a no, but like this is my point, right? Like when you have a vision, like he didn't like there was no. It's like he had a vision. He knew what he was going to do, right? Also, what an
Books.
awesome website domain. Amazon.com. Can you imagine the days when you could actually buy something like Amazon.com? Imagine living in a time where that was available. Like, what a wild time that was. I wish I had known. I would have bought everything. I would have bought everything.
Yeah. Yeah. What
Imagine
were
how
you
nice
doing in 2008?
Yeah. Like,
I was in middle school.
Yeah. I purchased Nike.com. What did you do? I purchased
20 years later, you're the domain daddy. Fuck
that would be
GoDaddy.
that would
I'm
be
the
such
domain
a
daddy.
domain. I like
dude.
that.
I should have been buying
Is that
domains
available?
instead of doing my homework. Yeah.
I told you about the time where the Twitter was pitched for a seed round at Deutsche. I told you that story. And the pitch was basically
Twitter,
like
Jack Dorsey was pitching.
Yeah. So at Deutsche. So basically, like the pitch was basically, it's like the Facebook status, but just the status. Like it's not the images, it's not the friends, it's not the. That was basically the angle of the pitch, and I remember being in the room and having people going like, "It's just like a Facebook status." Like who is going to invest in this? And I remember that whole like I paraphrase, it wasn't quite, but that was basically the sentiment. And so everyone was like, we're not investing. And then he went on to be Twitter. It's
like who even let this guy in the building?
Yeah, it was literally like,
didn't
like,
the
what are we
guys
doing?
didn't the kids from Cursor, didn't they pitch Jack on Cursor? They tried to set up a meeting, I think, to pitch Jack, and Jack was like, yeah, man, I just don't have time. And he said, because he sent us he put a screenshot in the group chat one day of like a DM from like the lead kid. I don't know, I can't remember his name at the moment. I can't recall it off the moment, right? But it's one of the MIT kids.
Yeah, because it was like 4 of them that started it,
but
they went to Jack
this was like the lead one. Yeah,
wow.
He had messaged Jack like 3 years ago. Wow. 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah, 2 or 3 years ago he had
messaged Jack who?
Jack Roberts.
Ah.
Yeah. Yeah, he DM'd Jack Roberts and he asked for a meeting because Jack has this screenshot of this Instagram DM that this kid sent him, and he was like, "Do you guys know who this guy? Do you know who this is?" And somebody was like, "No, I don't know." He's like, that's the lead kid from the
Can
Curse."
I, dude? I can I just say, right?
It's wild.
I responded to what, 500 or 600 Instagram DMs, yeah, off the back of last week,
Jesus.
and doing when I went through every single one. And listen, don't get me wrong, there are some lunatics out there. That is a fact. In fact, we could probably do a segment on some of the messages that I've received, because there are some
We should.
insane messages, and we will. I think we'll do that for you guys next week. I'll put some together, because there are some. I just need to do some like scrubbing the names and stuff. But like there are some genuine. I've had people messaging me with like I'm building a neuro like hyper optic phantom time traveling. You're just like, okay, all right, brother, to help me fend off the voices in my head. You're just like, okay. There are some genuine, absolute lunatics. There's also a large frequency, what I've realized, of literal, still breathing, living Philistines, like genuine missing links in evolution. Because I have had some questions that are beyond me, and I'm not a kind of judgmental person, but there.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
point I was
Not
going to make,
judgmental. No,
but
not at all.
but I'm not judgmental at all. I'm not. But I've also had some of these such smart, such incredibly bright, blowing my mind, like what
Yeah.
some people are doing. And they're like asking me like for my little domain subject matter expertise, right? Like, can you help me with this? And I'm like, oh, tell me what you're doing. And they give me like what they're doing, and then they share their websites, and they say, and I look at them and I'm like, just blown away. Like, I'm just like, you guys are so brilliant, like so smart. And I'm just like blown away. And these are just random DMs. I had this one kid from India. I won't mention his name, but I had this one kid from India, and he was asking me all these really technical questions about graph. And I was going back and I was having, and in the end, like I really I liked the kid, and he was like, I was like, oh, like he's like, oh, I'm only 20. And I was like, huh? Like I suddenly caught on, like I was reading back through the conversation. I was like, you're 20. And he's like, yeah. And he's like, would you give me like just like 10 minutes like to answer some questions? And I was like, yeah, we'll do it on Instagram. Like I'll call you on Instagram. So we had a little chat, like 10 minutes on Instagram. This kid was so impressive. Like I would have hired him like that, like back in the day. 20 years old, Dan. 20 years old, Chase. Like I could not believe it. So it doesn't surprise me. People can, you think because it's brain rot central, like Instagram, you just don't know. There are just some people out there, like you can't judge a book by its cover. Yeah. And also I wish I got to show you like their profile pictures, like this really smart kid. It was like a South Park. Like it was like Timmer or someone like, like I was just like, you get a message from like this PFP, and it's like Timmy, and he's like, I'd like to talk to you about graph. It's like, okay, cool. So it's like, yeah, I found it just really, really, really interesting.
There is a lot of people I noticed, like I wondered, like with these guys, like these guys that from DEF CON, I was like, they want me to help them work on this, you know, platform that they're building. They have this idea for pen test software, and these are like, these are like the guys.
Yeah, the top guys. You're like,
And
why
they're
are you
like,
asking
yeah, they're
me?
like, they're like, yeah, maybe we could, they're like, maybe you could help us out. Like, we're looking to do some, and then I'm like, well, what do you guys need? Like, what do you need? Like, what do you want me for? Right. Like, I'm sitting there looking at them like, what is it that you think that we can provide? Like, Kevin, I understand, but like me, I'm like, I don't know. They're like, oh, well, we need help with like, you know, front end design because, and I'm thinking like really? Like, I mean, at the end of the day, I just don't know. I get shocked sometimes at like something like you said, like they can be like over in one sector, they can be like crazy advanced.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
like what's crazy is like these guys don't really even know code like you would think they would. Like they understand exploits and how to hack past firewalls, but they don't really understand. They couldn't really conceptually put together an app or a back end or a front end. Like you know what I mean? Like you
Was it
think that they
who was I talking to about this? I think it was Chase. I think it was you, dude. I was having this conversation about like how like developers back in the day, like pre-AI, like it's such a nichey thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like you'd get these developers that were like just network. You get these developers just like back end, one language, you know? And yeah, they could upskill to different syntax and stuff. Like I get it, but like you'd get these developers were really like hyper niched, you know, and like people had this impression that like if you're a developer you could just like I know all code, like all languages, front end, UX, back end, middleware, network, servers. Like it's like no, not at all. These are different skills. These are different skills
Yeah, like these guys can
altogether.
hack a flock camera, but they can't code in a front end on their app. And I'm like,
To be fair, to cyber guys, I mean, they're generally pretty good generalists. Generally,
yeah,
like like Kevin probably can handle most
he can.
things.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
can.
these are not But you're right that there is like database is a good example of this, right? Like I've obviously dealt with a lot of developers,
Right.
and I'm a classic example of this. I'm an awful programmer. Awful, right? So like you put me up against someone like Kevin, it's not even comparable, right?
Right.
But talk to me about databases and I'm the GOAT. Geek of all time.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I was just shocked. I was like, what do you guys, I mean, I was like, yeah, Kevin's like, hey, we'll do this project. And I'm like, wait, yeah, but like, he was like, I don't think you understand. Like, you're really good at understanding like design and functionality, like functionality and what makes it appealable to the customer. He's like,
Well, that's different though,
these
isn't
guys
it?
don't, he's
That's a
like, these
different
guys don't
skill.
know anything about that. He's like, they don't even know, they don't understand business at all. He's like, you don't understand.
Have you seen like all the products that get like made by like like when you get like when you used to get like you download like these like Rust like migrated projects and stuff, and you're like and you're like I get it. Like if you're into like code, you love it. Like you love the way it looks and stuff. But if you're like the mass market, you're like, what the fuck is this?
Well, you like dude, I noticed that I didn't even realize like how where the gap on that was until Hermes agent, like the popularity shot through the roof, and how many people just refused to use it simply because they didn't want to go through the CLI command terminal. Like they didn't want to use it inside of CL, like inside the CLI. Like they wanted something, like they wanted like an interface. You know what I mean? Like the amount of people that gravitate, I realized, like, and I say this all the time, like, dude, I don't know how people the fucking, and I might get in trouble for saying this, but I don't know. I'm probably on probation in this community anyway, so it's whatever at this point. But like they, Chase is like, God damn.
Here we. Are you sure you want to do this? We just want to. We just want. No,
don't do this to me.
Hold on. Oh, listen. You don't have to jump.
Yeah.
We love you. We care about you. Just come off the ledge. Just and listen. The window's open. Listen, I understand what you're going through. Listen. Hear me out.
Fly like a bird, baby.
I understand.
Free bird it. Full send.
Chase, shush. I understand the way you're feeling. I understand the frustration. I understand that you feel alone. But I want you to know that we're here for you. Come off the ledge. Come off the ledge. Come back inside.
Yeah. We have some $10,000 websites you can.
Let me hold on. Wait a second. What I was gonna say really isn't that bad. All I was gonna say is the amount of people that are like this I don't want to use the buzzword. We're just going to say graphic interface. The graphic interface addiction that people like need this, like these web apps, and like the buzzword is
Jarvis.
obviously like
What
OS,
a-
right? Operating system.
Jarvis.
OS, yeah. Jarvis, Ultron, fucking Bruce Banner. Everybody's got something. Everybody's got a Marvel character stored in their PC at this point, and it's at
I'm
the
gonna
point.
can we just stop? What would your Marvel system be called?
What would my Marvel system be
Yeah, I'll
called?
tell you mine. Mine would be.
Doom.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah,
That
fuck
is
everything else.
solid.
Why do I want Jarvis?
Mine would be Galactus.
Galactus is another good choice.
I was thinking Black Widow, but
Oh, that's so weak. That's so weak. Galactus, Eater of Worlds. Doom, like crazy, like can take on everybody.
Yeah,
like,
but
and you picked the Black Widow?
but his AI can just open its legs and it's got everybody in the internet.
Yeah, you're thinking too short-sighted here, Kim.
Yeah, right. Would yours be
Ultimate
like
power.
Galactus is going to turn everybody off?
Would yours be like an optimized harness for like
it's
Instagram avatars?
It's an optimized harness.
Yeah,
yes.
only fans.
Daniel, you should create Black Widow. You're the Black Widow master.
They were on to something. But no,
I actually don't think that's a bad name.
The OS, the operating system, user interface, it's so unnecessary, guys. It's so. Listen to me. If you're listening on this podcast right now and you're thinking about building an OS, you don't fucking need it. You probably don't need, and the reason being is because most people are not running enough. Well, first of all, how many people even have the database structure and data science knowledge to be able to build an effective knowledge base for their OS to begin with? Like,
no, listen, don't get me started on this. This is literally my bag, right?
No, I know.
I'm telling you, like, you can't. This is when I was saying, like, the one that killed me was the graph engineering. Because that was like for me, that's like, you can't make a graph for your 500 documents. You can't make a graph for your 5 documents, right? And you want to make a graph for engineering, for an agentic harness. Like, you're absolutely out of your mind. Like, you're out of it. But to your point, as somebody who's building an operating system dashboard, I actually agree with you. Mm-hmm. Like it has been painful. I'm doing this for V2 Glitch, and like, it is one of those moments where you're like 3/4 of the way through the build and you're like, why am I doing this? Like, what am I actually doing? Like, admittedly, I've got a cool like task thing that I'm trying to do, but it is ultimately like, there's nothing feels as good, nothing feels like home, but the sweet caress of a CLI. I still can't. The terminal is like my happy place. You know, thinking about people that use like these other tools. Don't get me wrong, Codex and stuff, I quite like what it does. And like T3 Code that Chase mentioned to me earlier, like, it is super neat. Like, I get it. I do get that. But like, outside of a couple of these little weird kind of workflow like use cases, I'm like, the thought of operating, say, like Anthropic's Claude and doing it, like coding with it, but not seeing like all the tool calls and not seeing all that. I'm like, how are you working like that? I can't get my head around it. They
think that, like, what they do is they layer in a prompt And they go, the cool thing about this, man, is I just layer in this prop and hit this fucking slash goal, and I just let it run, and I go to the gym and I hit my sets and I come back to a fully finished product. That's the commercial right there. Yeah.
I got my pump on, and so did Claude. Yeah.
If anyone wants to show me a
I was chilling on my
legitimate,
couch while I was just hitting it from remote view. I just had it on remote view, and I was just chilling on my couch with my phone, and I just had that Claude.
I mean,
Yeah. I was on a date and I went to the bathroom. Oh my God, I was clotting so hard in there. She didn't even know.
I was clodding so hard.
What took you so long in there? Are you okay? Yeah, I just had to fix a bug.
No, so look, listen, I've seen some really good use of things like goal and loops, and I hate loops.
Yeah.
But I've seen it. But the thing is like the people that are doing it well are really smart agentic engineers.
Slash goal, like, build me another $1 billion SaaS.
Exactly. That's where it goes wrong.
Fable 5, extra high.
But can we just actually let's talk about this mass market thing for a second, right? So I watched a T3 Theo video this week, and it surprised me. I'll be honest, it threw me. It really threw me, right? So he decided that he wanted to review or try out Matt Pocock skills, because everyone talks really highly about these skills. And of course, Matt Pocock has accumulated 200,000 GitHub stars for what is fundamentally markdown files, right? Skills. Yeah.
What are they for?
That for a bunch of things. The really popular one is called Grill Me, right? Now, just for the I just want to talk about this because I feel like I am in the Twilight Zone, right? Let's talk about this, right? Because don't get me wrong, 200,000 stars is insanity. That's got to be one of the highest amounts of stars for any product ever in GitHub, and it's for skills.
Yeah,
right.
Compared to like OpenClaw is like what? Like it's probably the only other.
No, that's not. I wouldn't be anywhere near that. Like 200,000 stars is insane.
OpenClaw.
So no, how many GitHub stars does OpenClaw have? Let's do this. Let's check it. OpenClaw.
We're checking right now. Oh, 387,000 stars.
Yeah, I was saying, I feel like OpenClaw has got to be number one.
All right, my bad.
Yeah, because I remember Jensen Wong did that presentation in his keynote about.
Fair enough. But like OpenClaw is like an actual like thing. This is just
no. I see your point. No, I see your point.
But that's what
I'm saying. It's on the same level of like something like an OpenClaw. And
OpenClaw is like double. To be fair, like that. Yeah, that's insane. That's insane. But anyway, the point is this, right? What threw me is this. I respect Theo. I think Theo's a cool dude, and I think he's bright. And he's like, I'm gonna try these things, right? And I'm like, okay. I'm like, here we go. This is gonna be the burn. Like I was like, this is why he's doing it. And he's like going through it, and he's using Grill Me, and he's like, and so to be fair, I know that Matt comes across as a really nice guy, so it's not a personal thing,
right?
But Grill Me as an example is something that's become really popular. I tried Grill Me ages ago, and I know since then he's worked a lot on these. He's like developed them quite a lot, and so I had to be fair. Disclaimer: I haven't used them recently. Okay, so maybe they've come a long way. But when I tried Grill Me, when someone sent it to me, it basically just asks the model to explore a little bit like your code base or whatever you're doing, and then ask you some questions. That's what the skill does, right? And when I did it, I remember thinking like, okay, if I was somebody that had never coded or didn't understand the importance of, say, alignment in the development process, then I would understand why that could be quite useful.
True.
because you're learning, you're basically teaching people to how to work with AI, right? You got to start by alignment, you got to get into the weeds, you got to get into the nuance before you plan, implement, verify, whatever, right? But I looked at this, right, and I looked at it, but it was so basic that I kind of thought to myself, well, this isn't even close to the amount of alignment you should do, and it's not even structured questions that are meaningful. It's just like random questions, right? So I thought when Theo reviewed this, I was really excited about it. I was like, he's going to shed this apart. But when he did it on screen on the YouTube clip, it comes up with some questions, right? And he reads the questions and he's like, oh, these are pretty good questions, right?
Yeah.
And then he basically concludes after doing more other things. He's like, it's pretty good. Like I quite like them, right? And I'm sitting there and I'm like, am I in the Twilight Zone? I was like, am I the only one that is willing to just say that this is like Amateurville? Like, I get the value if you're new to this stuff. I totally get it. It's a great teaching tool, great learning. But this is not in any way valuable if you're actually trying to do any real delivery. Like, teach people proper alignment. If I was going to create a grill me skill, I would try and do a lot more than what it does. And I'm just like, I can't. Maybe it's just a personal thing. I don't know what it is, but I just find it so amateur, like deeply amateur. And that bothers me. It's like, what are we doing here? Are we just stopped critiquing? Is that what are we just gonna accept Amateurville now? Is that what it is? Are we just gonna we're gonna big up and push and like what are we doing? I just don't get it.
I see
I don't
your
get
point.
it.
I see
I
your
don't get it.
I see your point, and I think like this is something that heavily. And I was just okay. So funny enough, I don't want. This is not a fitness podcast. I don't want to talk about. I don't want to get into this topic like too deep, but I don't want to have another Arnold moment where I'm like, and then I was doing the biceps, and then I was doing the chest press. I don't want to get it. I don't want to get go down that road, right? I don't want to be Arnold on Apprentice. But basically,
when you were doing biceps, yeah,
I was
one day at the gym. Tell the whole story.
I was on remote view, and I was watching my quad go to work, and I was like building another MVP for another $1 billion SaaS, and I was sitting there and I was doing but
let us know about your body. Come on, let's talk about your body some more.
No. I was having a conversation. I was having a conversation with a coach on Instagram. And we were talking about like someone that I know, and she's been in the industry for a long time, right? Like kind of like myself. And we were talking about how ridiculous the the open-ended discussion has become. And I think that there's a lot of parallel in what I'm about to say. Like there's become a lot of open-ended discussion on people just accepting performance enhancement very openly, and they're not even really being 100% transparent with themselves because they don't even understand that what they're discussing is performance enhancing drug. Like they don't understand that like a PED covers a wide variety of topics. It's not just taking an anabolic steroid. It covers so many different things. Like if you look at the list of banned substances on the WADA list, for instance, or literally it's stuff that like you would maybe find in a lot of supplements. To be honest, there's things on that list that professional athletes have to be aware of and they have to stay away from, and they'll tell you like how scrutinizing. Like I worked with a professional athlete a few years ago when I was still like working with people in that spectrum, and I just remember the amount of stuff that we had to like literally, I mean, the amount of research that we had to pour into making sure that there was nothing on this ingredient list that was in the WADA, banned substance. Because if he tested positive by accident, we're liable for that. I'm getting sued, whatever. So there is a huge discussion open-ended on the fact that like people are just taking peptides now, peptide, whatever, this and that. I'm on this, I'm on that. Like, and people are just discussing it openly on Instagram. And we were talking about how ridiculous it is because these people literally refuse to optimize anything about their life, but yet they will jump openly on a peptide that has profound effects that we truly don't have enough data research to truly understand yet because they just haven't been utilized and haven't been around enough. Like we just don't have enough studies. And I was discussing that also with a doctor friend of mine, about how many studies openly just are not proof of what we think that we know because although rat DNA gives us a good idea and understanding of what something may do to us, it's not 100% be all end all. There's things that we approved 20 or 30 years ago that we've rolled back on now, and it has nothing to do with the fact of like we're trying to make things less accessible for the average person to have. It's just that there's things that we go, oh yeah, we changed our mind. Yeah, our science was bad 20 to 30 years ago, right? 10 years ago, we thought a hair loss gene came from your mother's dad. And then we learned in the last, 5 years, that's not true. So there's things that in science where there's things that is constantly changing because there's all this new data that's being published. And that's why it's really important to publish your data online, right? Like that's why it's really important inside of the scientific community to do that. But we were talking about the fact like these people truthfully don't have any interest in optimizing their sleep, trying to eat better, like trying to do this. They're just moving straight to like PEDs because they're convinced in their mind that this isn't a PED.
But my point is that grill me and these types of skills, disclaimer, I haven't used them recently. And like I said, I know he's done a lot of work, so maybe they're a lot better now, to be fair. Okay. But based on my memory of it, right? My point is that this isn't a performance enhancing drug.
No, but
you know what this is like.
This is like what I was going to say.
I'll tell you what it's like.
Code is the performance enhancing.
Yeah. But like someone wants to get into shape, right? Yeah. Someone wants to get into to keep with your health analogy, right? Someone wants to get in shape, and someone's like becoming super popular because they've said, "Did you know if you do 10,000 steps a day, that's going to help?" And there's this other guy going, you could also go to the gym and I'll show you the workout, and you can also like eat better and have protein and this, and you can also sleep better. And they've gone, the walk, wow, like, oh, blown my mind, dude. Like, whoa, like, like it's so like, it's like the most, that's not even a good analogy. That's an awful analogy, but you know what I mean? It's like this kind of, you know what? Guys,
would you say
no, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take one for the team. I'm gonna do it next week.
You're gonna grill me.
I am going to do grill me. I'm gonna the modern version, the latest version. I'm gonna do grill me, and I'm gonna give you my honest feedback out of 10 because I don't feel it's fair that I'm making this is. I said earlier I wasn't judgmental. and I'm being judgmental. Because I haven't used it in its current state. So I'm gonna try Matt Pocock skills this week, and I'm gonna give you guys the feedback, and I'm gonna tell you what I think honestly.
My parallel was really going to be though the fact that like what I was going to say is I was actually going to support Grill Me, and I was going to tell you why is because what I was going to say is really, in my opinion, see Claude Code and Codex and all of these programs are the equivalent of GLP-1s and peptides and anabolic steroids. And
I don't know what any of this is. I don't know what peptides are. But that's
okay. Doesn't matter. Just those are PEDs, right? Is what I'm saying. Like essentially, but it's stuff that everyone's using in today's time and age right now.
Right. Okay.
And so what I'm saying is like, I do agree with you to a certain extent, but I also, like I was talking with my friend, is I was like, the bottom line is though, if you're in the industry, you're just going to have to come to understand and accept that this is just something that people are going to utilize. So instead of you just sitting on the screen. Like, I understand, like, you're gonna come on here and you want to just like, it just enrages you, right? Of like what people are doing with this shit. But I'm like, we can talk about that, but at the end of the day, having something that is fundamental that you can bring to them that just creates some form of fundamentalism. And maybe it doesn't speak into a sense of like something that you would ever utilize or that you would ever play with or that you would ever need in your daily consensus, but they're on Claude, they're on Codex, they're on these apps, they're trying to do whatever they're gonna do anyways.
No, 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 no. Bullshit. Bullshit. Listen. No, fucking no.
Yeah.
This is grifting. This is my point, right? This is grifting. If you've got a voice, that's why I'm going to test them next week. So I can. I'm not talking about Matt specifically now, right? But I'm saying my point is this. Forget the Matt thing for a second, right? Because I'm going to try those out next week. They might be great. So forget that for a second. But to your point, this idea that like if you've got a voice, if people are looking to you and listening to you,
yeah,
you have a fucking obligation. Right? If you actually if you actually care about helping people,
right?
Like you have an obligation, and your obligation is to tell them and educate them and help them and do all this stuff, right? And kind of show them that there are better ways to get better out. Do you know what it feels like to me? It feels like gatekeeping, because when I see smart people saying, this little amateur thing is really good, you know what I feel like saying? That's because you don't want to tell them the real way. You don't want to tell them the way that actually people who do know what they're doing are doing. And there are a lot of great people out there showing great things.
They just get tired. They just get tired. Like I don't want to have the discussion anymore because we're like, for instance, like the only thing I can compare this to is because people don't come to me for coding advice, or knowledge graph or you know what I mean, or anything like that. So I can't relate on that end.
Yeah, but they might come to you for like video, like AI video stuff, right?
They do. Yeah. They are.
Right.
Sure. Yeah. But with that, it's a little bit more direct. What I can say though, when it comes to like coding's very specific. Like there's a lot of things that come with understanding. If you're going to put together anything up on the internet or coding type of application, whatever it is that you're going to dig into, there's a lot of nuanced detail that a lot of people are just not going to care. And I think the parallel in terms of like health and fitness is there's so much. I could sit here and do one topic about, I could spend 5 to 10 hours on just hormones alone. So my point is like, all these people that come to people like me or whoever for advice, they just, people as attention span has gotten to the point where they just don't care. They're not going to sit and listen. Now, I don't know the guy that you're talking about. I've never watched his videos. I've never been on his YouTube. So I don't know who his audience is.
Yeah. Matt is a lovely guy. He does a lot of education. He does a lot of education, a lot of work. He's a great educator. He's a great communicator. He makes great videos educating people on AI, and he's one of those guys. He's a good guy.
Okay.
He's a good guy. And I'm just saying that I'm surprised that the skills library, which has become his kind of flagship tool for his brand, is being so well received by anything other than beginners. I get the value for beginners,
but maybe it's really not. Is my point. Like maybe they're portraying that it is because they understand that they're like, I don't know this. I'm literally just talking from another side. Trying to play devil's advocate, right? I don't really know. I'm just saying, like, I think maybe that they could be looking at it and thinking, like, see what they're thinking, like, like Kim, like, I don't understand, man. I got a lot of slow boys, I got some slow boys watching me, they're thinking they're coding their first MVP. I'm just trying to give them, a little something. You know what I mean? It's like, this content isn't for you. right?
Yeah, yeah,
This
yeah, yeah,
content that
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
making, this video, it's a wink, right? Like it's a wink, like Kim, like you understand this is not what we do. But this video ain't for you. It's for my coders, my
Maybe.
code
No, no, no. I
bros,
hear,
my
I hear, I
vibe, my
hear. No,
vibe
no,
bros
no,
who are
no,
watching
no,
me.
no,
You know
no.
what I mean?
I hear that,
Yeah.
and that's fine, and I respect that. No, no, that's valid. That's valid,
Yeah.
right? But I also like the people that I'm talking about, like, because Theo isn't that guy. Like Theo is like a pretty. He would not say it if he didn't mean it. So that's what surprised me, right? It's like because he's the kind of guy that calls out Anthropic every week, right? Like he's a real he calls it as it is, as he sees it, you know, and that's kind of what I respect about him, you know. I don't always agree with him, but I know that he's coming from a place of honesty. That this is what he actually believes, and he justifies it. He explains
Right.
what his kind of point of view. So I respect that, right? With like I said, whether I agree or not. But he was genuinely, I just think he was too, like, I don't know. I was watching it on the screen. I was watching the output on the screen. And then I was watching him say, "Oh, this is pretty good." And I was like, "Wait, what? Is what I see in my terminal every day that different to you that you would think that?" Like, because I know that the many engineers, the many developers, the many vibe coders, many vibe coders that I know, right? What they're doing is incredible. Like they don't need these tools. These are not useful tools.
Well,
And like I
Kim, I
said,
remember.
this is we've moved on from Matt Pocock, right? Because I am the point about Matt Pocock ended when I said I'm going to try it out first because, like I said, I can't talk about it if I haven't tried out the latest. So I will do that.
Friend of the show.
Yeah, friend of the show.
Friend of the show.
But no, because I know so many people that do genuinely like people that I respect that genuinely love them, that love his skills. They really do. They message me, people that I respect. I just feel like I'm the one that's in the cuckoo land. Like I'm like, why can I not see this? What am I not getting? It bothers me. I don't want to be an outlier. I want to be part of the standard deviation. I just want to be normally distributed, Jace.
I had a thought before, but Kim, you just throw me right off track with normal distribution right afterwards.
I just want to be normally distributed. I just want no autocorrelation. I want no heteroscedasticity. I just want to be normally distributed, baby.
Here's the thing. Like when it comes to anything that is highly advanced, I think also sometimes you have to keep in mind of like there's like you I understand like your point that you're like okay he's not that type of guy, but he might just be trying to play devil's advocate in the moment himself for an opposite perspective of like, you know what,
You're right. You're
this
right.
is
That's
pretty
valid.
good for what it is.
Yeah,
And
totally.
it's not for,
totally.
it's not for my 5% of you who are up here who are listening, right? It's
You're
the
right.
same thing for like, and I try to
That's
tell my
valid.
friend, I try to tell Jane, I was like, listen, like, I understand you're upset about this topic. I'm upset about it too. I was like, but I've also learned that I would rather just, if someone's going to come to me for peptide advice, just let me give you the protocol and tell you how to do it safely without killing yourself, because they're going to grab it and do it from the guy at the local gym like regardless of whether I'm going to get in touch with them or not. So let me just maybe try to push some education a little bit, because maybe this is the hump that gets them in the gym. Maybe this is just the bridge that sends them into the gym, gets them motivated enough to where they start to change, and then eventually they become a little bit more conscious about what they're eating. Maybe they become a little bit more conscious about their sleep, or maybe they go through their cycle and they burn it up and they never touch it again because it's not really what they wanted to start. It's just like they just wanted to touch the pile of gold. They didn't really want to,
Now,
I think this kind of goes almost to like we're talking about domains, right? And I think the health domain is such a beautiful analogy, Dan, because it's so massive, right? There's so many different verticals and slices within health itself.
For sure. Yeah.
That it's the same in the coding space, right? Developing an app or whatnot. There are so many different slices that you can go very deep on, that it almost feels at times, especially if you're an expert in the domain, that you have to concede. You have to, kind of not cut your losses, but realize, hey, we're bringing people this far down into the domain. If I go any further, they're going to all get stuck right here and I'm going to lose them.
Because you have vibe coders and you have actual development scientists. Same thing in the health space. We have exercise scientists and we have the bros, right? The gym bros. Mm-hmm. What I've always said is I think that there's nuance in both sides of the coin. Sometimes the exercise scientists go way too far out in outer space to where
I'm too ugh for this. Just give me my nuance, this and that, and it's delicate and everybody's right. Like I don't we don't all win first place. I don't want a participation medal.
Well, I think Tim, I think really what he's keying in on though is that it's for everyone. Right? Like health is something that is for everyone because everyone has a body, everyone, at some point in their life, health is going to be something they pay attention to. And we're kind of reaching that same point with AI and developing things. At least this is my takeaway of where
it's true. No,
that barrier to entry disappears, right? And then it's for everyone. So,
and it should be, and it should be, and it should be,
and it should be. Yeah.
And it should be.
Oh my God, what is that?
I'm welcoming them in. Hold on.
Because we got our Zoolander down
sometimes, like for instance, I do feel like I always felt like there were times where I'm like, I want some of my friends who are like, they're so far out in the science that they say things that keep like a wall from these people ever wanting to learn past a certain point.
This is really valid, right? Because I'm a big believer that there is no bad student, just bad teachers.
Yeah.
And I think that if when you're trying to help people and you're trying to educate them, you have to be really disciplined. Something I'm really bad at, actually, is you have to be really disciplined. I know I can't believe it either that I'm bad at something, but I am really bad at this. You have to be really disciplined in not letting your personal preferences get in the way of their objectives.
It's hard
because the direction they want to go might be completely opposite of where you think is the right way. But as an educator, you need to be able to kind of bridge that and say, hey, listen, these are the two ways you can do it. I personally do it this way, but if you want to, you can also do it that way, the way you want to do it, right? And these are just some things to consider and go for it. Do you try it out, see what works for you? And I think that's important, right? Because you're right, Chase's point about this going deep and then getting stuck. If you go too deep, you can totally stunt people's development. And if you care about people developing around you, whether that's your teammates, your work, at work, and you're trying to do this stuff, or taking stakeholders on a journey, or just education, teaching, mentorship, whatever it is, right? You do have to kind of have that approach. And I also think it's valid what you said earlier, Dan, about there is an element of like you're just trying to be a bit more accessible, and like you might just open up and like it is, I'm looking at this from a position of what it is, for what it is, and actually communicating it for what it is and giving my perspective on it based on what it is, and I think that's all valid. I think that's all completely valid.
Yeah, sometimes we don't always know every single person's agenda on why they like what their strategy is of what they're doing their videos are, putting together their content behind the scenes either. Like 100%. Because you can always go like, well, this is this guy's style, so this surprises me. But maybe if you knew him personally and you had a private conversation with him, he would say, listen, Kim, no, I totally agree with you. I understand. This is why I did this video, because I got like 100 DMs the other day. And I was like, man, you know what? I just got to do something to put this out there to take care of this little problem for now. And then I'm going to get back to this over here.
What's funny? You said that. Do you know how he opens the video?
Tell me.
He opens the video by saying, I know a lot of you have been asking me for ages to review. And then he shows his chat and everyone's like, yeah, finally, you're going to review it. And he's like, okay, so So it's funny you should mention it. That's literally how the video starts. But also, like, just to be fair, like,
Yeah.
again, disclaimer, like, you can't take me too seriously, guys. Like, in the video, he does show some of the other skills, and there is some pretty, like, reasonable stuff in there,
Yeah.
right? And so, don't get me wrong, like, in the full suite of Matt Pocock skills, there's some, like, genuinely nice looking skills. There's a bug fix one that I like the look of, and a couple of things, right? It's just nice. Like, out the box, you can always refine these things, right? But out the box, it's a nice, like, template to start from. My thing is about I've got an issue with the grill me specifically, right? That's the
grill
one.
me we are.
It's just that one, to be fair, that I've
Just
really got
flipping
an
it.
issue with.
Just flipping it on the grill there.
Just
gonna be back.
Don't
flip it one more.
I don't need to be grilled. I'm hot enough already. All right, I'm already too hot.
No, I just remember this video because I used to think a lot like how you think, and I just remember like I was, and sometimes it's like I like, and the reason that I remember I commented on Jane's video is because I was like, there are sometimes when I see something like the content she made the other day, and I was like, yeah, secretly I was like, yes, like, you know what I mean? It was like deep down inside of me, I'm like, I feel you, right? Like I feel you, trust me. But let's have that conversation between our group, right? Like those of us who understand. These people yelling at them and berating it ain't gonna. I'm sorry, it ain't gonna do anything for them. Like it's just gonna turn them. They're gonna just drift over to whoever they think that they can find who supplies them with the information that they're looking for. I had someone tell me, I can't remember. It was like it's been a while back, and they were like, you have to understand that when you're coaching someone, when you're an instructor, when you're a teacher, that you have to try to identify what they're really looking to achieve, and you have to try to like mold them into thinking that like whatever they're looking for, you're giving them the roadmap to that. Because they go, if you just put up a wall and you just say no, don't fuck all that, like just listen to this, like you paid me, so this is what we're going to do. Because they're just, if you do that, they're going to just go fuck you, and they're just going to go try to find the person that matches their truth inside of their head anyways. They go, so if you can find a way to kind of like, not like manipulate, but it is kind of like a manipulation a little bit. It's a little bit of
Oh my God, you've been talking with that behavioral person again, haven't you?
No.
Art of the
No. No, but it's like a little bit of a manipulation, right?
Dan's selling a course, guys. Art of the Grift, $99. Teach you how to grift, how to get how to sneak one over on people. Send in $99. If you don't receive it, lesson learned.
It's just about like they go inside of your head, right? You know what's best for them, and you don't really want them to end up with the person that's just going to take advantage of them and just take.
No, I hear it.
What they want to hear.
Dan, I get it. I hear it, dude. I hear it. And you're right about the thing about if someone's really set on hearing what they want to hear,
they're going to go get it.
There is that bias. They will just go to the person that's saying it, and that they become the guru.
Right.
Like that's just what it is, right?
Yes.
That's just how it is. It's how human nature. It's just what it is. Yeah, no, for sure.
So I would rather be the one to give them the path.
Yeah, take them on the journey.
Than them end up with fucking Doofenshmirtz over in, Doodle Land, and they get a whole bunch of shit, ruin them.
How do you know Doofenshmirtz? We go way back.
You and your battle with Perry the Platypus. Yeah. You share a common enemy, and Perry the Platypus. Yeah, you and Dr. Doofenshmirtz. Yeah.
Well, that seems like a very sensible point to say.
Is that it?
It's been wonderful, friends. It's been wonderful, friends. I think on that Doofenshmirtz bombshell, we should.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I got to head out, but I don't know what you guys are doing, but I'm going to crack on and enjoy the rest of my Sunday. I hope you have a fantastic day. And to everyone else out there,
Beautiful, my friends. See you guys.